Good morning, everyone. This is Raquel. Today, I'd like to give you a little demo of a game that I played recently and enjoyed. This is Kitsune Tails. It's an indie game that is advertised as a Mario 3-like, so heavily inspired by Mario 3, but it definitely has its own spin on things. It does its own thing as well. Lots of influences from Japanese mythology. It's really cool. And I wanted to take a little bit of time here. I don't want to play through the whole game, but I am going to show off some of the features, play through like half a dozen levels using different power-ups. This is just so you can kind of see what the game has, what it does that's unique, and hopefully you enjoy. Right away we see a familiar overworld, followed very quickly by a familiar looking screen with a familiar looking meter in the top right corner. The fact that it has that P-speed meter is the thing that probably makes it feel the most like Mario 3, and I think is a really cool factor to it. You play as a Kitsune, fox girl, which is why when you get hit, instead of turning into a smaller version of that character, you turn into a fox, which is just adorable. In addition to just having some of those familiar play patterns, you are going to see some other unique things. This is one of the suits that you can get. Lets you do spins. Honestly, it wasn't my favorite of the suits that you can get access to, but it is pretty cool that it has that as an option in it. Also, this is this game's version of the invincibility star. One of the things I really like about this is that it actually gives you the shorter frame. So as you are running through with invincibility, you don't have to worry about your character bumping into things if they were big. The platforming feels really good, which I think is one of the most important things with a game like this, and it's not necessarily easy, especially if you take it slow, but it feels good. It has a good float. Each level has a different signature power-up. The signature power-up for the next world is the shark suit, which is similar to, but a little different than the frog suit. It has the same function where you can run on water, as well as just having better increased swimming mobility. The swimming in this feels, with the shark suit, the swimming feels good. Without it, it's Mario swimming, so a lot of mashing. But the shark suit definitely feels good, and it's nice that you can kind of like make sure you have the right items for the right time. Next up, we've got the ice world, which the item for this one is a popsicle to get the snow fox suit. The ice blocks that it creates are a little bit you can jump on them, but you can't interact with them otherwise, so sometimes you end up creating kind of a barrier for yourself. This wasn't my favorite of the signature power-ups, but I'm still glad it was there, and I'm curious, because I feel like there were some shortcuts that you could have done in some of there's some more vertical levels as well. I never was able to keep my power-up long enough to explore them. I feel like it required some precision, but it was still a really cool area. I think the other thing with the Snow Fox is that it also gets rid of the ice physics, which is, if nothing else, that's the important part. and it lets you damage boost, which sometimes is all you need. I think this level also exemplifies that it just has good, solid level design. There are some more gimmicky levels, but a lot of them are just a really straightforward run, jump, enemies, and it feels good. The next level we've got is probably my favorite suit. The bird gives you both a double jump and a glide effect, which is huge in this type of game. I feel like there were so many times in later levels that I just defaulted to this just because. Oh, also, right there, if you jump on an enemy, you reset your double jump, which is also huge. In addition to the items that are found in levels, there is actually a shop. That's what you can use your coins for, which is one of the things that I really enjoyed about this as well. Is while you do have all these cool suits that are themed for the levels, there are actually, you can choose what items you're actually using as well. There's also difficulty options, so you can either use them in the levels, like from a menu during a level, which is nice because otherwise you can't activate them before a checkpoint, but the default way to do it is only from the world map. So similar to the item boxes in Mario 3. Next up, we've got what might be the most broken suit in the game, the dragon. So the big thing with this, in addition to just being it shoots fireballs, also slide down the hills is with any suit. That's just part of the game. You can step in lava. All of the red in this level will just kill you if you are not wearing the dragon suit. One instant kill. But because we've got the dragon suit, you can just swim in it like it's water. I didn't actually realize this at first. This is one of the things where I didn't feel like the game, or maybe I just clicked through the text too fast. I didn't feel like the game really did a great job explaining that part, but I noticed that it had water physics when I took a hit and then fell into it with invincibility frames, and it was like, oh, that's really cool. Also, Lakitu Cloud vibe here. It doesn't last super long. Oops. But if you kill the enemy, you get their cloud. It's pretty cool. Yeah, no, the dragon just kind of gives you that extra safety where you just don't have to worry about the lava in the lava stage, which does trivialize it a bit, but it also makes it very nerve-wracking to then take damage. I got through most of this just using the bird suit instead, just because I didn't realize that the lava invincibility was a thing. Again, the variety's the good part. Speaking of variety, there's a second character you unlock partway through the game. I won't go into the story details because I feel like that's another piece of the game that is definitely worth exploring on your own. However, whereas the main character controls like a traditional Mario character, this character gets a sword and a bunch of like air slashes that feel really good. The different playstyle lets you do some really cool tricks, and she gets wall jumps, several different aerial slashes, can chain each of them together when you hit an enemy, similar to the main character with the double jump. And while it does let you cheese certain areas, I don't feel like it makes the game any less fun. And I think that's the biggest piece with this, is even the parts that are not as hard with this character still feel really good, just because of the cool factor of what you get to do. The inclusion of this second character is honestly what makes this a full recommend. So that was a quick overview of Kitsune Tails. Like I said, Mario 3 is one of my favorite games. This was a really cool little indie project, fully voice acted, really cool designs, cool new power-ups, good level design. I had a few minor quibbles with it, a few frustrating parts, but for the most part, this is a really awesome game if you are a fan of Mario 3, or if you just like good platformers, and I would highly recommend checking this one out. Hopefully you enjoyed this little demo. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.